Satnam, offering a pick charm reading. And as always, explore what resonates within you, your heart and soul, and allow that to lead you. And may these messages find you well and support you on your path. And it feels like it's time to reevaluate that perhaps there's a deeper calling and longing coming to the surface. And at the same time, 5:50, halfway there, like not quite at the end of one cycle and on the precipice of growing forward with new opportunities. What does that look like within your mind's eye? What do you know to be true within your heart, beyond a reasonable doubt? What do you feel when you stand in your power? What do you sense when you come into your truth, your true calling, your needs, and the opportunities presented, what's yours to pursue, and what needs to be let go of, recycled, offered up? This card comes from the Mystic Moments card. I saw that in meditation, so I pulled that by hand for you. And this card speaks to patience. And when I think of photography, when I think of working in a dark room, when I think about taking shots, it's waiting for that moment, and that not every time you click do you get the image that you frame. And sometimes there is a need for adjustment. Maybe it's a new lens, maybe it's a new position, maybe it's the lighting. And so I ask, what perspective will allow you to create the life you want to live into? What adjustments are needed at this time for you to create the picture-perfect opportunity for your soul growth and fulfill your soul calling? If this first charm spoke to you, there may be a message here for you. How are you expressing yourself? What is your authentic truth, separate from the lineage of the past, separate from what's been cast down? And is it time to express yourself in a new light? And the word aperture was coming to mind. So really letting in the light of who you are. So thinking of the throat chakra, because this camera, I always think there's like around your neck, like the way that you carry this camera around your neck as you do what you do. Okay, so are you carrying something you no longer need, or do you have something just waiting to be rebirthed within you? That was quick. Bottom deck is the King of Pentacles energy. Feels very powerful here. You are able to materialize, manage, and navigate like the material plane. Let's see what all this is that came out for you. Put that over there. Strength. Beautiful. Page of Cups and Ten of Swords. Okay, let's do this here. This feels right there. So, what are you holding on to that's behind you now? It's behind you now. And will you let those burdens, will you shed those layers? And yes, we have to dive into some parts that we might not enjoy exploring. What if you're able to stand on your own 2 feet in a new way? Ground yourself and allow the movement, that flow. The water is really standing out, like let it flow through you, perhaps out as you proceed forward. Let the light come in. And the Page of Cups is learning. So how are you kind of working in the dualities of this truth, like really knowing you have the strength? When you bare your soul, you know that within yourself, this infinite wisdom. And the Page of Cups has this offering, this, and notice how the fabric is moving around, the clouds are around the top of the mountain, like you've traversed this word magnetism, like you've got something within yourself that maybe even you don't see, but you feel deep within yourself. And will you listen to that calling and unburden yourself and learn? Perhaps it's teaching. Your emotions, how are they teaching you, or how have they taught you? Is not to be ashamed of that vulnerability, rather that vulnerability as a strength to intuit what you need, like as part of your intuition. Those burdens that you carry may be weighing you down, and perhaps you don't just see that, and that's okay. Maybe it's time to try out a new lens. What would it feel like to step into your power? What would it feel like to really own your truth? What would it feel like to say, I deserve better? What would it feel like to say, I can, I will, and truly believe it? Strength is really standing out, so having courage, living with your whole heart. And that might mean like traversing new terrain, like you've already overcome a lot of hurdles. Like and perhaps part of this change is rebirthing, this shedding of layers, is not knowing what's coming next. I mean, you're jumping from the Page to the King, allowing the emotional body to gently guide you on the material of what you need to grow forward, and allowing that infinite wisdom, that infinite strength, that infinite truth, that belief in abundance to see you through. And perhaps looking up to the clouds, maybe that's another way to get messages. And as she holds out her cup, I'm wondering if you could ask your cup to be full. Ask Spirit, your guides, to fill your emotional cup, to clear the pains of the past so that you can see, navigate your way forward. And how will you continue to see the signs and synchronicities to step forward on your path to abundance, clearly to wear your crown and sit on your throne, believing all that is here for you to share with others. There's something for you to share. And the King, there's a wand. Like, what would you do if you could wave a magic wand and receive? And really, maybe that's what you've already gotten the message. You've already seen what you are capable or been given that download. Now time to see it through. I don't know why her sheet is standing out. Maybe it's unveiling. Maybe it's unveiling bottom deck. So monitoring your thoughts. Beautiful. Okay. There's a fresh new start. And it's about taking that step. Leap of faith. It's easier said than done. I realize that. And especially with the 5 showing up here, it's saying that there's some challenges here with the Page on the top of the mountain and the 10 of Swords. There's some challenges, but seeing the 10 and then the 5, it's like one cycle is complete And yet now it's just monitoring the thoughts to transition from a previous way of thinking, believing, expressing, and communicating to a new light. And with the ace here on the Ace of Diamonds, it is like a fresh start, and the clouds and the feathers really standing out. And so paying attention to different reminders that Spirit is giving you so that you can see your truth. And it's seeing that new truth with this new vision, like vision board maybe, great, and keeping that in mind, and not like whatever was left behind with this 10 of Swords energy, making sure that you check your thoughts, check the way you're thinking when you receive that intuition. Is that part of a previous mindset, or is this what I'm growing into? So just checking the thoughts. Is that outdated belief system, or is this the higher self, or new version of yourself, your highest potential shining through? The belief is huge here to light the way. Aww. Aww. I love this for you. You're already doing it. So the 5 could be the way you're communicating with yourself, and you're thinking yourself out of it. Like, and she's standing, this figure is already standing on the top. The page is on the top. The king is on the throne. And here the strength bearing the soul, ace, a new beginning. Like, you're already there doing it, this dance of life in your strength. And there might be just some little pieces of the way you think kind of stepping in the way of this true transformation. Bottom deck energy. Things are changing in a cellular level, so perhaps also giving yourself some time to integrate these downloads and integrate this newfound awareness to really cultivate in the who are your helpers and guides, continuing to navigate in partnership with your guides and continuing to ground yourself as you receive intuitive hits to move forward, to check in. Is this, again, part of the past? Am I in present mode, or am I in like this future faking? Like, where are your thoughts, and will you ground and allow it in? It's in your hands. Just remain open to allow it to come through for you. So beautiful. Keep going, keep growing. You still got this. If this second charm spoke to you, there may be a message here for you. And I get the sense that you have this deep knowing that your perspective is one from above. And that you might see clearly far more than those around you, and not to allow the perceptions, or I don't want to say ill intent, but not everyone around you has cultivated the deep level of awareness that you have. And so holding compassionate space and grace as they explore their emotions, or as you explore yours, that as you set stage with an even keel, a grounded tone, a more calm presence, that you give someone else room to explore their emotional intelligence. So just a kind reminder that we all have our upsets, and I really get the sense that you see from above and a broader scale, like a bigger picture, and not to kind of catch that wave of emotional flux that others have, and stand your ground. And perhaps taking that time to meditate is vital for your self-care, to continue to explore the vast awareness of your experience on all levels. And perhaps you might even be picking up on past life karma, or other like levels of regret others have, and it might be thrown at you, or you might be feeling that emotion and it's not quite you. It could be them. So listen to what your angels are telling you, and mindful of what you kind of pick up along your journey. You want to handle yourself with care. So what are you feeling down to your bones? What needs to be cleared? And what guidance are you receiving? And perhaps a lot of self-love and nurturing is important for you to see clearly, to speak clearly. And as always, letting go, like having some sort of, self-care plan, ritual to release, or other modes of care to raise your vibrations. Divine truth, empowerment, wisdom. My elbows are really standing out right now, so I'm just going to tell you that in case you want to look that up or you feel something else from that. Ace of Wands, jumping out, Seven of Pentacles. You're really making some magic happen, or something's here for you to explore. And it might be healing here, ancestral karma, some sort of healing on a deeper level and you've probably already planted the seeds for it. How is that passion fueling you to continue your journey? And perhaps it's time for something new for you. Perhaps there's something new for you. I want to say, because I hear them upstairs, it's rumbling. You might have your passions stirred up. That will then allow you to plant new seeds. And the material, that was quick. Bottom deck. Part of learning, part of passions here. Whether you're looking up, looking down, looking in, looking out. There's happiness here for you. Go on the material realm. What is... Yeah, healing feels huge here. To begin something new for you, to rebirth. But I feel like it's more of like you're making something happen. Like the stable foundation of abundance. The Seven of Pentacles to the 10. This egg always just feels like something new is coming in through you. And it could be through your past experiences, part of your lineage here, to bring either light codes, new information. And there's nothing wrong with abundance. So if there's any feeling of lack in that, I feel like with the 10 and the 7, it's Spirit saying it's okay to have, it's okay to receive. What do you want? The Jack of Clubs giving you your passion to say, okay, you have this wisdom, this classic knowledge. How will you use it? How have you used it in the material realm in the past? Things just magically coming in for you. You might be an entrepreneur, you could be a healer. And what do you really want for both you, your community, your family? And knowing that as you see this egg, the feathers all around, both supported in this community of light, held in space from Spirit, but also the community around you may embrace this new passion you have, what you want to bring in the material more than you realize. The gifts that you have, the world is ready for. What else? No nonsense. You're probably pretty driven here. Probably born that way, and probably have reinvented yourself more than once. maybe it's time to kind of like sit with those past life layers. The knowing is there. It's just this beautiful Ace of Wands with this egg. Like, it's just like ready and waiting to be nurtured. Whether this is love, whether this is a project, a plan, like through that passion, getting clear energetically on what you want, sitting with it, planting your seeds and learning to navigate. The Jack with the birds, it's like this flip side we have. There are dualities in the way that our brains work. There are constructs in society. You know, there is light and shadow. And so mastering, 9 of Clubs, mastering your own energy to materialize what you want here for you. And the Ace is here to tell you to make your wish, to wave your wand, to begin this path of abundance, to bring it forth in material. 7, we don't always know what we've planted. Seeds, they sit in the cool soil waiting to feel the sun. And so this egg you've been sitting on, this project, this plan, this relationship, the seeds are planted and the energy's there. Then the 9 and the Jack, this club energy is there. Trust it. Like, this is beautiful, abundant, pleasure, connection, community. Expect nothing but the best. Nothing but the best. Nothing but the best. Oh. Can you mother yourself? So sitting on your own egg, allowing yourself to unfold beyond what's needed around you, beyond the chaos around you, allowing yourself to sit and let the stars guide you. Not to take so what this is telling me that you have a choice to plant the seeds for your own growth, aligned. What is in line, what is not aligned or needs to change, whether it's how you're seeing yourself, how you're allowing others to dictate what's happening in your life. I get the sense, because our eyes are standing out, maybe more of how you see yourself, especially with this 9 of Clubs. You may have been teaching people all along through your own presence. And with the 10 being here rather than like the 4 with this, can you mother yourself? Like, you have all you need to take care of you, not to just monitor this. You know, if the 4 of Diamonds was here, 5 of Pentacles, I would say, like, be careful of lack mentality. Spirit through these cards are saying you've already got it. The seeds are planted. It's now just like nurturing yourself to see it through and making a few little adjustments. It's like weeding your garden or adding some new nutrients to the soil, whatever it is. I don't know a whole lot about gardening, but that kind of feels with the 7 of Pentacles, something to consider. So tending to your own needs to blossom. Do hope this served well. Sending lots of love and light. If this 3rd charm spoke to you, there may be a message here for you. And it feels like dream bigger, like keep going, like there's magnetism, expansion here for you. Like, if you have a plan, an idea, like take it to the next level. Keep going, keep growing. And while there might be hurdles or moments that you're like, oh, yeah, adjustments are required, you pick it up, you keep going. But dream bigger feels really huge for you with this charm. How wonderful. And what do you want? Not to play small. Not to play small. you can roll with whoever it is that you think, if you feel like, oh, I can't handle this, oh, they're out of my league, or whether I can't play with the big boys. Yeah, you can. Whatever it is, those are just, I'm sorry, those are ways of saying, like, you totally can do this. Magnetism, you've got it. It's just a matter of time. This camera looks like it has a flash on it, so you might be shining some light, or someone might be shining light on you soon, whether that's some sort of proposal. Someone's could be, oh, I felt that in my heart. Someone's have their eye on you, ready to make their move and shine their light. And it might not, it could be a number of opportunities here for you, but angels can work through humans, providing opportunities for your own growth. Oh, okay. So I didn't expect that with all that good feeling, but perhaps something needs to be laid to rest. Four of Swords jumped out, and the Queen of Swords is bottom deck energy. So letting something rest, and so perhaps letting something come to you, nurturing your self-care. When we look at the 4, there's also the 3, so finding clarity through the pain, but having to sit with it. So 3 of Swords being that pain, the Ace of Swords being that clarity. So working with those energies to recalibrate what's here and possible for you, and listening on a deeper level, the kind whispers of your angels, and will you take the time to rest to allow that in. And so the Queen has their sword down, so not communicating out, rather the bird on their shoulder, allowing something to come in. So this peaceful process of allowing your own light to shine, sitting in, yin energy, clearly with the Queen, but also with the 4 of Swords, divine feminine. So capture the moment in your own essence, like be that energy for yourself. And as you sit, this is really standing out. It reminds me of like octopus. And for me, the octopus, there's a book, Octopus Consciousness, and it really talks about how octopus feel. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Might be entangled in some, maybe cord cutting might be important here. Notice what energies you're still attached to allow this new energy and opportunity to come through for you. But sitting with your feelers. So think of octopus, they can like feel and sense so much. So what are you putting out, and what's coming into you, and what needs to be cut, mended, cleared, healed. So sit with that. Sit and meditate on what energies are in your auric field and what no longer need to be in your energetic field. You also might be able to feel out what energies are coming in towards you for this opportunity. You might be sensing it on some level and trusting it. With the swords being here, the communication might be more surface level rather than energetic. So trusting what you sense, making sure the patterns of the past or the energies of the past aren't creating any interference to what you're receiving in the material. And so I feel like with this 5, not to doubt what's not here in the material realm, but trust what you feel, bottom deck. And so there's this balance or congruence is coming to mind, to find balance in the material realm from what you're sensing and thinking to what's here and communicated. And, with pentacles and swords being on the board, but with the octopus and the bird standing out, feels like energies are at play, but you might be all in your head about it and not 5-7, finding that challenge and courage to expand this awareness and this awakening, even if it hasn't materialized for you yet. So not to be confused with the past, and not to be confused with how quick you can manifest. And that came out really quick too. It's all coming together. Intuitive hit soul tribe. So trust what's coming in for you, and looking at the bigger picture. Maybe even look at your natal chart. That's not something I do, but I don't know why that came up. Or stars aligning for you. Bottom deck energy. Oh, so planning. So this two of diamonds is telling you that there's just some other things coming into alignment before what you sense comes through. Just patience, which no one wants to hear, because it's challenging when you have these ways of thinking and believing and communicating, but you sense something else and something different is showing up in the material. So bottom deck energy, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. So perhaps it's time to illuminate the way, is sitting with it as if it's so. So when we have a conversation, if you were to give your 8-second elevator speech, you speak as if it's so. You speak in a way that aligns with the trajectory of what you want to manifest. So will you sit with that energy and be open to communicate with yourself, trusting in the divine plan, trusting in the foundation that has been laid out by your angels, and you following through to the core, to the essence, in that inner wisdom that's here, and watching how it unfolds, watching how your mind works, feeling it out, sensing every step, and listening to these intuitive hits, however they come through for you. And sometimes I notice that, excuse me, I should probably get some drink, that sometimes an intuitive hit guides me in a direction that I didn't expect. It's like looking back, it all makes sense, but it's like they had to send me to this store at this time, so X, Y, and Z happened later. For example, I'm just totally pulling that out, but it's like trusting those hits, and you might not always be able to map it out the moment you get the hit, but trusting it. Trusting your soul tribe to talk it through, trusting your intuitive hits, and trusting the divine has a plan, and keep with that divine communication to expand your light, your awareness, and keep growing, keep illuminating, keep connected above in the cellular, in the stars, in the planetary. Like, allow yourself to get curious and research. Allow yourself to open up to new connections. Allow yourself to open up through the third eye, through the crown. Like, continue to explore, continue to learn, and be willing to think a new way. Be willing to sit with yourself. Be willing to communicate on both the 3D and on higher realms, even though it might feel, look, and sense differently. It's like you keep moving in and out of the matrix, and kind of putting out this thought, putting forth this action, or something comes to you, and just keep being with the moment to move forward. There's only perceived obstacles, perceived hurdles. They're saying we're here to work with you to make magic happen. Yay. Sending lots of light and love. Sana.